Hey, welcome back to your real estate news. And there's a lot going on in the market right now. Winter market seems pretty strong, and we've got some stats and some updates to share with you. So what's happening in the market, Doug?
Yeah, well, thanks, Josh. And so, again, Doug Davey, Josh Barnard, with the real estate news for you. I like to always start kind of with the bigger picture. That we hear a lot of things about what's going on in the real estate market, and as we've said in this series many times, a lot of fake news out there, and this is the real stuff. And this pertains to our local economy and what's going on in the real estate community here. And so I'd like to bring up right off the bat, the statistics that we give you folks, that Josh and I bring to you, are primarily from the 4-county region that we track most closely. And so that's Pierce, King, Snohomish, and Thurston counties. Those 4 counties are where most of the real estate activity takes place. And of course, there's all of the outlying counties that are a part of the system through the Northwest MLS. But those are, again, the ones that are most active. So right now, I'd like to talk briefly about inventory, and I know you're going to touch on that, especially for the month of November.
Yeah.
There's still an imbalance between the amount of homes on the market and the demand in the market, and that's caused prices to remain at upper levels. Even though that slowed a little bit, the imbalance right now is about 1.5 months at 1.58 exactly in that 4-county region that we talk about. And that means that if we shut off the supply today of homes that are coming on the market, so no new homes on the market, in a month and a half, all the homes would be sold. There'd be nothing for buyers to buy. So that inventory factor is really what's been impacting this market. And as a result of that, however, and even in spite of that, I'd say, pending sales are really been tremendous for such a low inventory market. We would expect that the inventory would hold sales down. But in fact, over the last 6 months, the trend for pending sales, that is buyers and sellers that have agreed upon a contract to buy and sell on a house, the pending sales number is actually up. The trend is up over the last 6 months. Every month compared to the previous year is higher. And 8 of the last 11 months that we've tracked, pending sales are up year over year.
So that just means there's a lot of buyers out there. There's not a lot of inventory out there. Mm-hmm. And so with interest rates and all the positive things that are going on, it's just continuing to push it. So we're just lacking people that need to sell their house or houses on the market right now. That's pretty much what's going on, right?
Absolutely true. And that's really was my point, is that people say it's a slower market. It's actually a very active market, and it's especially active considering that we have such low inventory.
Right.
As a matter of fact, my opinion is we might have 30 to 40% more sales in the marketplace if there were more homes to buy. Buyers are having a tough time finding homes. So it's good for home sellers. It's great to be a home seller in this market, but not bad to be a home buyer as well. And I think you were going to kind of drill down a little bit into that. The month of November in particular, which you mentioned at the onset, it's a strong winter market.
Right. In fact, November from 2019, month over month compared to November 2018, is actually up 7% in pending sales, meaning that those contracts, those agreed upon contracts between seller and buyer, they're up. And it's the best November that we've had since back in 2016.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Especially considering we're getting all this news out there that is stating that the market is not very good. It's kind of on the downfall, potentially recessions and that sort of thing. That's not what the local stats are saying, which is kind of encouraging.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this is really just, we have such a great local job market and the interest rates that are continuing to help these buyers out and help these sellers out, creating this market that is advantageous for both of them. But it's just really, really strong around here. I mean, interest rates are still hovering under a 4% for your average 30-year fixed, which is great. I mean, that's almost back to 2008, 9, and 10 where those interest rates were. So
Phenomenal.
So even though you've been saying that the inventory is low, it's still a great time to be a buyer. I mean, those interest rates, those bring your monthly mortgage down considerably when they're that low.
Absolutely, and make homes for buyers more affordable, even though the prices have been up.
Right,
so
right.
buyers and sellers are both benefiting in this market.
Yeah. So another big change that we have going on coming up starting January 1st of this next year, 2020, is the excise tax change.
Right.
And so basically excise tax is just a sales tax. It's a sales tax that the seller pays at the closing of the sale of their property. So traditionally, for as long as I remember at least, excise tax has been 1.78% of the sale price.
Right.
So now if you are $500,000 house or lower, you are going to be at 1.6%. So there's actually a savings there, which is kind of cool for those people.
That's really cool.
And so they're bracketing different sales prices right now. So the next one is 500,000 to 1.5 million. You guys are going to stay the same. So it's 1.78% still for the excise tax. The next bracket is 1.5 million up to 3 million. And that's one, there's a little bit of a jump there.
Okay.
That's at 3.25% of the sales price. So there is 1.7, it's almost double about what they were at. So
And Josh, is there a maximum that a seller has to pay on that excise? Isn't that 70-some thousand?
yeah, so it's just under 75,000. So if you sell your house for $3 million, and you cannot go above I think it's 74,388 is the exact number for that excise tax amount. So there is a cutoff point that they do come in at.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
And then the last bracket is at 3 million or above. And right there, you're going to come in at 3.5% in excise tax. So there is some jumps. There are some good for the people under 500,000.
Sure.
And so we have some good, we have some bad, we have some change.
Yeah.
And change is inevitable.
Yeah.
So we just want to make sure that you guys understand, know those changes that are coming up, and that we get that information out to you so that you can process and make the best decision for you and your family.
Right. And I think, an important point that you just brought up, and that is that our median and average prices in the Pierce County region, which is where we primarily work, is Pierce County. Most of the homes that are sold fall underneath that 500,000. So most people are going to get a break.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So that median price, it does kind of stay under there. So there's a lot of positive for the Pierce County region, most definitely.
Yeah. Well, good. Yeah.
So if there's any questions pertaining to anything we talked about, or just real estate in general, feel free to reach out to us, and we'd love to help, and we'd love to answer those questions for you.
Absolutely. And we also, of course, want to wish everybody a very happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and
Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year. Thanks a lot.